We have Giratina Altered form making its way into raid battles this week. I hope you guys are ready and prepped because we're going to break down the counter guide to make sure you guys have everything going on. And also, if you guys do need more raid battles, you can jump into the pinned comments. Check out the Discord, totally free. You can get into raid battles there, or if you want a more premium access place, we will be having a shiny contest in the Discord for the premier raiders, or if you want to get on my friends list and raid with some of my people as well, that is an option for you all through Patreon. So with that said, let's jump into the counters and all the information about Giratina Altered form in Pokemon Go, which is starting on this Thursday, October 20th at 10 a.m. and that's going to go all the way until the 27th at 10 a.m. and I believe at that time that's going to be where Giratina Origin form is going to take over. So guys, we need to be ready to go for this Pokemon because it is also getting a brand new move that we will be checking out here very soon with some theories about what this move is going to do for this Pokemon, and then we will check out when the move actually comes out and we see it in play, what is this going to do for the Giratina Altered form? Because if it is extremely strong, which it may not be, but if it is extremely strong, guys, it can really actually put this Pokemon quite up there as a top ghost attacker in Pokemon Go. Starting off, this Pokemon is going to be a ghost and a dragon type. It's going to max out at 3,820, so it is not over 4,000. Giratina Origin form is a stronger overall general attacker, but this Pokemon does have some bulk for it. It has an attack of 187, a defense of 225, and a stamina of 284, so it is definitely up there. And then as far as its strengths and weaknesses, when we do look at a dragon and a ghost type Pokemon, dragon is weak to dragon and ghost is weak to ghost. Those are the two typings in Pokemon Go that are strong and weak against itself, and it just happens to be that the Giratinas are both strong and weak against themselves for both of their typings. And it's got 5 weaknesses, which are going to be ice, ghost, fairy, dark, as well as dragon. So those are going to be the 5 weaknesses, and then it has a bunch of resistances. If you do want to check them out over here, you can. But the main resistances are going to be fighting and normal with double resistance, and then they have other single resistances here as well, which then is going to lead us into the 100% IVs. 1931 under normal conditions, and that is going to get boosted in 2 conditions, which are going to be foggy as well as windy weather. And that's going to get boosted all the way to level 25 at 2414. So this Pokemon obviously has a shiny out that changes from the red and the kind of like more goldish, and it's going to go into a little bit more of a tannish and a baby bright blue. It's an incredible shiny if you haven't seen one yet. I absolutely love this Pokemon. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, favorite shiny Pokemon, and it always comes out around the Halloween season, which makes it even more nostalgic because the Halloween events are so good. If you want to see about the Halloween events, you can check it out up here. And then this Pokemon, in addition, is going to have some movesets that we do need to check out. So as far as its fast moves, it is going to be getting Dragon Breath as well as Shadow Claw. So Dragon Breath is a spammy raid move, so that will be spamming out there. And then Shadow Claw is the premier ghost type fast move. And then as far as its charge moves go, unfortunately for this Pokemon, it's not the strongest charge move Pokemon that it does have for its typings. It's going to be getting Shadow Sneak, which is a ghost move, which is not good at all. It's going to be getting Dragon Claw, which is a little bit more spammy, so if we are using Dragon Pokemon against it, it will be spamming out there. And then finally it gets Ancient Power, which is not too much of a, worry, except for the fact that Rock typing is going to be strong against Flying typing. When we do use dragons that are Flying type combination like Rayquaza, it is going to be a little bit problematic for that Pokemon. But the main move that this Pokemon is going to be getting is going to be the brand new move of Shadow Force coming onto this Pokemon, and we will see what that Pokemon does do. But this, in my mind, is not getting added to the move pool as a permanent move. It's an exclusive raid move, I think, is how they're operating. So that means that this Pokemon will not be fighting with this move, which then leads us to how many trainers is it going to take down this Pokemon. It's going to be 2.16. So yes, under the right conditions with the highest level counters, you can duo it. It will be challenging, but more than likely you're going to be fighting it with at least 4 trainers and up, especially if you're going to be in the Discord with great party sizes and remote invites as well. So with that said, now let's check out the top counter, starting off with the Mega Pokemon, and then we will transition into some of the non-shadows, and we can obviously talk about the Megas, but there's a Mega in the first spot. Look at that already. It's going to be the Gengar. Mega Gengar, spot number 1, strongest ghost type in the game by far with Lick and Shadow Ball. You could also use Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball on this Pokemon. This Pokemon is extremely good, and the cool thing about using Mega Gengar as the active Mega is that this Pokemon is going to give you additional XL candy coming from this Pokemon as well. So not only is this Pokemon multi-purpose, but it's a great attacker as well, man. This is a perfect Pokemon in here to be able to use. So at level 40, the Mega Gengar is going to take 546 seconds to take down this Pokemon, right? So that's pretty cool. In spot number 2, we are looking at Shadow Salamence. It's going to have Dragon Tail and Outrage combination in the Shadow form. Obviously, the Outrage is going to be the Calm Day move coming on this Pokemon. So if you do have a Salamence Salamence in the shadow form that's new, and you did TM away Frustration, you will have to Elite TM this Outrage move onto this Pokemon, and this is 577 seconds. And just remember that, unfortunately, the Flying Dragons are going to be weak to the Dragon Breath, the Dragon Claw, and the Ancient Power, and it is a shadow form. So if you do see dragons being recommended, probably it's going to have the Ghost move, which is going to be the best case scenario to take advantage of this Pokemon. Okay, so on to the next. We are looking at the Shadow Dragonite. Shadow Dragonite and Outrage Dragon Tail combination for the moveset. The cool thing about the Dragonite is that it does not need an Elite TM. Outrage is going to be the preferred moveset, and it's not that much farther behind the Salamence in the shadow form, so that's pretty cool. And remember, in a couple weekends, we are looking at Dratini Recap Com Day, which is going to be very fun for us, and it's going to get you a lot of candy, XL candy, and it will be able to get you primed for a Shadow Dragonite in Pokemon Go. So that's really cool and something to look forward to. Then in the next spot, we are looking at the next Mega, which is going to be Mega Latios with Dragon Claw and Dragon Breath on this Pokemon. Unfortunately, Mega Gengar is better, but whichever one you do have as a Mega level 3 is the one that you should use to be able to make sure that you have these Pokemon ready to go and that you are getting the optimal XL candy every single time you catch this Pokemon. And then next we have Mega Bayonet, which is obviously not as good as Mega Gengar, but I wanted to talk about it since we will be getting that Pokemon soon as well. And then we have the Shadow Mamoswine. This Pokemon is going to wreck. It will not be weak to any of the movesets, but it is a little bit glassy. So then let's get out of these Shadows and Megas, and let's start talking about what we could include Megas and regular counters as well, so you guys do know about that, so we're not looking at all these really expensive counters all the time. So spot 1 through 5 are going to be all Megas. If you guys do want to pause and check out any of these Megas over here, we already talked about them. Another one we could use is going to be Mega Houndoom because it is a dark typing. However, it will not be optimized to be able to get you XL candy back. So preferably you're using either a Mega Latios or you're using a Mega Gengar, or if you have the Mega Charizard, you could use the Mega Charizard X for the dragon typing on that Pokemon. So those are a couple combinations of probably the more likely Pokemon that you will have here, which then is going to lead us into the first non-Mega, not Shadow, which is going to be Rayquaza with Dragon Tail and Outrage combination. But once again, this one is going to be to Dragon moves and Ancient Power. And then we have Mega Absol and Mega Alakazam. Look at Mega Alakazam coming up right there with Shadow Ball you could use, or you could even use Dazzling Gleam on this Pokemon. But Dazzling Gleam is a legacy move, and it will actually take an Elite TM to be able to get it. So I want to make sure that you guys are optimized here. Obviously, this Pokemon is also not going to be getting you any extra XL candy as well. And then next, we're going to have Hydreigon with Dragon Breath and Brutal Swing. Love that Pokemon. Then regular Salamence with Dragon Tail and Outrage. And then we have Palkia with Dragon Tail and Outrage, followed by the Darkrai with Snarl and Shadow Ball. You know, they always recommend the Shadow Ball move coming off of this Darkrai. However, Dark Pulse will definitely work as well. Then we have Garchomp with Dragon Tail and Outrage, followed by Mega Gyarados, which I am going to skip. Then we have Dragon Tail, Dragon Claw on the Haxorus. Then we have Dragon Tail Outrage on the Dragonite. Then we have Dragon Breath Outrage on Zekrom. And then we have Dialga with Dragon Breath and Draco Meteor. Dialga will be neutral to Dragon because of its Steel type combination. And then we have Galarian Darumaka with Ice Fang and Avalanche, followed by Snarl and Avalanche on the Weavile. And then we have Zacian, Giratina Origin Form, and more counters if you guys do want to pause over here and check out some of the other budget counters that we do have. But obviously, the closer to the top, the better. The shadows are even better. Man, this Pokemon's going to be a lot of fun. The shiny is great, but what weather conditions are going to affect this Pokemon the most and our counters? So number 1, partly cloudy will boost the Ancient Power. That is going to make the Dragon Flyers a little bit more challenging when they do get hit with this moveset. It's not the strongest moveset, but at the same time, you know, it is coming from a legendary Pokemon in a raid battle, so it will do a decent amount of damage. Then if we're looking at the cloudy weather, we're going to have a boost to the fairy types. So anything of ours that we didn't really talk about were really fairy type Pokemon, because they're not the strongest counters against this Pokemon when we're looking at all the typings, but fairies will get boosted in the cloudy weather, and fairies are going to be double resistant to dragon, so there is that combination. When you potentially see a couple fairies in there, that might be what's going on with the moveset. And then next we have snowy weather, which will boost all of our ice types. With snowy weather will be coming not that soon, but potentially soon for some people in North America. And then we have foggy weather, which will boost Giratina Origin Form all the way to level 25. 2414 will be the 100% IV. It will boost all of its ghost type moves. It will boost its ghost typed counters, all the counters that we did talk about, and all of the dark type counters will get boosted in this situation. And then finally, we're going to look at the windy weather. Windy weather will be boosting the Giratina once again. It will boost all of its dragon moves, and it will boost all of our countered dragons that we could be using. So that's going to be the Giratina Altered counter guide in Pokemon Go. Good luck out there. Have some fun. We are going to be checking out the best of the best soon to make sure you're ready and prepped for this Pokemon, what you do with it, and how much you should invest in it in Pokemon Pokemon Go. So thank you for being here as always. To all my likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody take their support, subscription, and participation to next level. See you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.